Hi, I'm Healthy Emmie, and in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you exactly how I batch cook my sweet potatoes for the week. If you're new here, hey, like I said, I'm Healthy Emmie. I'm a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. So if you want to eat sweet potatoes all day long and work with me and a nutrition coach and a mindset coach to lose weight, then click the link in the down bar. Something very exciting has arrived. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. It's my Hawaiian sweet potatoes. Yes. Whenever this beat up box shows up at my doorstep, honeys, you know it's about to be a party. This is Hawaii Veggie Farm's greatest gift to the earth, their sweet potatoes. So I do order my sweet potatoes online, and the link is in the down bar. You can get a discount code, hawaiivegiefarm.com. This is not a sponsored video. I am obsessed with these guys. Discount code Emmie5, and you get a discount and you get free shipping delivered straight to your doorstep. So these Hawaiian sweet potatoes, you have not lived until you've had one of these guys. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Orange sweet potatoes are garbage. Nutritionally, they're incredible. But taste-wise, once you have these, it's like flying first class. You just can't go back to coach. Speaking from a gal who has never flown first class. I imagine it's great. So what I'm gonna do here, you could do with any type of sweet potato. I just prefer these because they literally taste like cake. They're so good. They're so sweet. I can't even tell you. This is exactly what I do. I get my box of sweet potatoes and I'm gonna divide these into two categories. One category are going to be the sweet potatoes that I'm going to eat this week, and the other category are going to be the sweet potatoes that I'm going to be eating after this week. So that's step one. So let's do that. I get the 19-pound box. And people will say, well, Emmie, what if I don't eat 19 pounds of sweet potatoes in a week? I'll say, well, don't tell me your problems. But also, that's okay, because you can follow exactly what I'm gonna do here. So first, I'm gonna take out the sweet potatoes that I'm going to have this week. So in the box are the sweet potatoes that I'm having after this week, and in the box are the sweet potatoes that I'm going to have this week. Next step is super simple. I'm gonna take the sweet potatoes that I'm having after this week, and I'm going to put them, which is nervous, so you can see my address on here. I'm going to put these guys directly into the freezer. You can put them in freezer safe bags. I don't have freezer safe bags. Minimalist life. I try to have as few things as possible, and in my opinion, these are fine when I just throw them directly into the freezer. Would they be better if they were covered by something? Probably, but I don't keep them in there forever. So I'm going to put these guys directly into the freezer because I'm gonna batch cook them next weekend. But it's Sunday, so I'm doing my prep for this week. Okay, great. So that's taken care of, and I can take care of those next week. So next, I'm going to take the potatoes that I'm going to have this week. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these into the strainer and I'm going to wash them. So I just have my strainer. I'm gonna put my potatoes in here, and then I have this potato brush. You can get this on my Amazon. I will link this in the down bar. In the down bar, it'll say products mentioned, and that is where I have linked all of the products mentioned. All right, so I'm gonna scrub a dub these in the sink, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to put out a cloth for them to dry on. I don't have to dry them to death because I'm about to put them in the oven anyway. Oh, by the way, forgot to tell you to preheat the oven. So the oven is at 400 degrees right now. I'm just gonna take a cloth to put out, and I'm gonna wash these bad boys. I'm gonna take another cloth and I'm gonna make these potatoes disappear now. So I'm gonna dry these guys. Okay, so these are dry for the most part. They don't have to be perfectly dry. That is okay. And I actually prefer them not to be perfectly dry because I do like them to get gooey when they're steaming. I know that in a recent video I was talking about how I like things dry, and I do like things dry, except for these. These have got to be gooey, in my opinion. That's how they get super sweet and sugary and crystallized. They're just so good. Tinfoil time. Tinfoil is a controversial product. I do use it. But to make sure that I protect myself from anything that could be harmful within the tin foil, I block it with parchment paper. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm sure you've heard the saying, birds of the same feather flock together. That's why you always see me around fabulous people. Potatoes of the same size cook together, okay? So birds of the same feather flock together, potatoes of the same size cook together. So I'm gonna take potatoes that are of the same size and I'm gonna group them together as I wrap them in my parchment paper and my tin foil. Tin foil, parchment paper, potatoes of the same size. All right, so I usually don't go more than 4 in one wrap. And I'm just gonna wrap them up like this, okay? So I'm gonna do this for all the potatoes that I'm gonna have this week. Because as you can see, I did get the different sized potatoes. So I get the 19-pound mixed box, which means they're big potatoes and they're also small potatoes, even though this business is not small potatoes, this is big deals that we're doing here. There are gonna be potatoes that are of smaller size that are gonna cook more quickly, and there are gonna be potatoes of larger size that are going to cook for longer. Also keep in mind this. Every potato has a different taste, just like every apple, every grape, every melon, every piece of broccoli that you eat has a bit of a unique taste. We've been so accustomed by the processed food industry to be under the assumption that foods are going to taste exactly the same because they've been made in a laboratory where everything is exactly the same and everything tastes exactly the same. But no one plant is going to taste absolutely identical to another plant because so many factors go into what it tastes like. The moisture of the soil, how ripe was it when it was picked? How much sunshine did it get? How cold was the soil? How long was it frozen for underground? Was there freezing that caused it to harvest differently? Was it a good harvest year? Did animals come in and eat all the good ones? Was there a lot of wind that dried it out a little bit? Was there a drought that dried it out a little bit? There's so many factors, natural causes that will cause different potatoes to taste differently. So if sometimes the potato is drier, sometimes it's gooier, sometimes it's sweeter, that's nature, baby. They're not going to all taste the exact same. This is not a box of bonbons. This is a box of nature's gift to us, and embrace the imperfections, just like you and I have imperfections. Okay, so these babies are gonna go into the oven. All of that to say, what I was going to say in the first place is that they're gonna cook at different rates. So you gotta keep an eye on them. So the bigger ones could be in there for 90 minutes to 2 hours. The smaller ones are gonna be done in an hour. So into the oven they go at 400 Fahrenheit. You could even cook higher, you could cook lower. They used to cook these guys over fire, okay? So it's not a perfect science. Now you can go watch a bunch of Healthy Emmie videos to pass the time, or you could fill out your application for the Slim on Starch program. Take your pick. So I will see you guys in an hour when some of the smaller ones are done, and then I'm gonna tell you what I do with those guys. If you are eating a plant-based diet, you must supplement vitamin B12. It's very difficult to find a clean B12 on the market, which is why I decided to make one myself, because I couldn't find one that was clean. They were all gross and they had sugar and oil and animal products added. So I made a vitamin B12 that's just one active ingredient, B12, that's it. No junk, no GMOs, no sugar, no oil, no processed junk, no gross stuff. Vegan, clean, premium ingredients. Get yours in the down bar, and you can subscribe and save so that's delivered to your door every month and you don't have to worry about B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 deficiency can have neurological complications. It can cause depression, fatigue, memory loss. There are even studies showing a link between vitamin B12 deficiency and the progression of Alzheimer's. So you definitely don't want to risk this, and just make sure that you're supplementing. Get it in the description. Here is an example of some Japanese sweet potatoes that were put directly into the freezer on this little bowl, and I didn't even cover them with anything. And these guys I'm just gonna put right into the microwave and they'll be just fine. So something that is really important is that we are not so painfully attached to exactly what our food tastes like that it makes or breaks our day. It's just food. We're gonna eat thousands and thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of calories over our lives and thousands of meals. They don't have to be perfection. So are these gonna taste exactly the same as if I were to bake them fresh? No, and in fact, I think they taste a little bit better once you've frozen them or you've put them into the fridge. But I can just put these guys directly into the microwave for 2 minutes, not even. I check them after a minute because they heat up so quickly and then they'll be good to go. So I'm gonna have these a little bit later today actually. So it has been a minute. It has been about an hour. Let's check and let's see how these guys are going. You can do the squeeze test. They smell so good. So this is really hot, but you should be able to squeeze them. It's a little bit more friendly. See how I can squeeze them? You can push them in. That's how you know that they're gooey. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to, let's say that I've cooked all of these. The other ones are in the oven, but let's say that this is my whole batch. This is all I'm gonna have this week. I'm going to divide these into 2 categories. One category is gonna be the ones I'm gonna eat in the next 3 days, and the other category is gonna be the ones that I'm going to eat on today's Sunday, so on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So these are the ones that I'm gonna eat on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. These are the ones that I'm gonna eat in the next 3 days. For the ones that I'm gonna eat in the next 3 days, I am simply gonna take a bowl and I'm gonna put them into the bowl. And then I'm just gonna put these directly into the fridge. I don't cover them or anything. If I'm eating them in the next 3 days, in a bowl, directly into the fridge. All right, for the guys that I'm going to be eating Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm gonna take a plate, or you could take a baking sheet. You just need something for them to cool down on. I don't like for them to cool down in the tin foil. I actually want to remove them from the tin foil to prevent food poisoning and the bacteria, the growth of bacteria. You want to get rid of this tin foil. You don't want to keep it in here. You don't want to bake your potato and then just let it sit in the tin foil, because you can get really sick if you do that. So you gotta throw this out and we'll let these babies cool down. And let's pretend that they're all cooled down, or they're all on this plate. The other ones are still in the oven. All I do is during the week, take the sweet potatoes from the fridge. You can eat them cold. They're delicious cold. Or you can throw them in the microwave. They don't need more than 30 seconds. They get so hot so quickly. Test with your microwave exactly how long you need to do it for. You pop them in the microwave and they are good to go. And then what I do with the frozen ones later in the week, I'll actually just, I won't even transfer them to the fridge. When it's time for me to eat them later in the week, I'll take them directly from the freezer and I'll put them into the microwave. And they don't need more than 90 seconds for my microwave. Yours might be a little bit longer. I take them, of course, out of the tin foil and just put them directly in a bowl or onto a plate, and into the microwave they go. If you want to eat lots of sweet potatoes and get slim on starch, click the link in the down bar. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video.